I watched the entire UFC 324 weigh-in show, so you don't have to, and these are my takeaways on the main card fighters. Starting off with the main event, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Both of the guys made weight. Paddy was 1 pound underweight. They both looked good. Justin Gaethje much less fit than he usually is. Paddy looked in phenomenal shape, and the main thing is that Paddy looked extremely confident. He was much more energetic than Gaethje. He was jumping around, talking shit, slapping Gaethje on the back, and he in general looked happy, motivated, and confident. Gaethje looked slow and sluggish. I think he's approaching 40 years old, and this type of weight cut is kind of getting to him. So I'm expecting Paddy to be even more dominant than I thought before. He's going to have much more energy. His cardio is not going to be an issue, whereas for Justin Gaethje it might be. And mainly, he's mentally confident. I did not expect him to be this confident. He even joked with Gaethje how severe his weight cut looked, before Gaethje just looked that bad. So I'm expecting the same outcome, but more dominant this time. Paddy's going to take him down all throughout the first round, get him tired, and submit him in the second or third, possibly. But Paddy by submission is my pick. Now, the co-main event, Song Yadong versus Sean O'Malley. Both of the guys made good weight. They looked physically fit. They looked confident. But what was important for me is how different Song Yadong looked than his previous fights. He was always the reserved, kind of quiet guy, but this time he's talking shit to O'Malley. He's out in the open trying to intimidate O'Malley and trying to get him to get angry and make mistakes in the fight, probably. Song Yadong was looking him right in the eye, talking shit while O'Malley was silent, wearing a COVID mask, like that was supposed to be some insult to Yadong. This tells me that O'Malley is, as always, trying to force himself to be this funny character that he really isn't, while Song Yadong is authentically being himself, confident in his training, abilities, and preparation, and I think he's going to be even more dominant than I thought previously. Although I still think Sean O'Malley is going to win the last round, I think Yadong is going to be more than able to use his wrestling, use his power boxing and pressure to win the first two rounds and win the fight. Song Yadong by decision, locked in. Next up, one I'm really excited for, the heavyweights. Lewis versus Acosta, of course they made weight. They didn't have to cut shit. They're pretty good shape for fat heavyweights. But what was crazy to me is how these guys are ready to take each other's heads off. Derek Lewis kind of surprised me with how confident he looked, and I am kind of reconsidering a bit the chances he has to knock him Acosta out. But Acosta also looked confident. He was looking Derek Lewis right in the eyes, standing there like a statue, where Derek Lewis is a bit jittery. So I'm still taking Acosta by decision, but I think Lewis is gonna go out there to win. He's not going out there to like just make a good performance or do well for the fans. He's going out there to knock Acosta out. So I'm still taking Acosta, but I'm not gonna be surprised if Derek Lewis pulls out a round 3 KO. Next up, Allen versus Silva. This was crazy. I think Silva has a huge psychological advantage over Allen, and his win is guaranteed for me. Allen looked weird. He was doing some hand spell bullshit. I don't know. He was trying to enchant Silva to maybe not be as like terrifying, but I see fear in his eyes. John Silva is scaring this man, and I expect this to show in the fight. Arnold Allen will be backtracking way more. He's going to be on the back foot, walking behind, where Silva is only going to be pushing. And when you're walking backwards for with Silva, you're going to get hit with a big power shot and knocked out. Although my previous pick was Silva by like round 2, 3, knockdown and ground and pound finish, I think it's going to happen even earlier than before. Although both guys look good on the scales, they made weight, they look energetic. I think Jean Silva has just a massive psychological impact on Allen, and it's going to show in Allen's fear of engaging. And I think Silva is going to win by KO in round 2, let's say. A very interesting one, the bantamweight, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo. Figueiredo missed weight by like 2.8 pounds, almost 3, I think. And what the fuck? I don't think Davison has missed much weight, especially in bantamweight. He used to be a flyweight. So this just tells us at his 38-year-old age how tough it is for him to still cut weight. What I think this is going to impact the fight is that Umar is going to be much more energetic. He's going to have a great cardio advantage over Davison, who is going to get tired in round 1 and 2 defending Umar's shots. I said decision for Umar before. Now I think a late submission is quite possible. I still think Davison is going to scramble well, but these scrambles are going to take much more of a toll than previously thought. And Umar is going to just take advantage, be faster, get to the back, dominate him in side control, and really focus on like taking Davison's back and getting a rear naked choke. So if it's a submission, I think late round three, mid round three, rear naked choke from the back, of course. Or I still think Umar by decision is my lock. Next up, another weight miss, this time at flyweight. Charles Johnson versus Alex Perez. Charles Johnson looked good, looked decently energetic. He looked confident, but most importantly, he looked massive. He weighed less than Perez, but he was much bigger. And Perez is sluggish, terrible weight cut for him. Somehow he missed weight for the first time. Being this small, I don't understand how he could miss weight, but he did. What this tells me is that Charles Johnson has a massive chance of knocking Perez out. Although Perez is quite durable, his chin is going to suffer the most, I feel like, with his stamina due to this weight miss. And his lack of preparation is going to show in the fact that he's not going to be able to keep up with Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson is going to push the pace. I think he has much more chance now to tire him out in the first round because Perez is going to be playing catch up. Charles Johnson is going to have couple of shot combinations going, whereas Perez is going to try to get him back. And with these attempts, because he's much shorter, he's going to overreach. He's going to miss a lot. And this is going to tire him out. And I'm seeing a round two, maybe early round three KO from Charles Johnson, where Perez is quite tired. He takes a chance with a big swing, misses. Charles Johnson counters him with like a left hook, which is very strong for him, or like uppercut as well. Takes him down, or he goes down, and he finishes with ground and pound. So Charles Johnson by KO is my lock. Next up, what everybody's been talking about, Cameron Smotherman versus Ricky Turcios is cancelled because Cameron Smotherman, after making weight, collapses right on the stage. He only took a couple steps off the scales, and he just fainted, face first on the canvas, and just went out. We haven't seen this in a long time, but I really hope he's all right. What I could find on the internet tells me that he's healthy and this didn't have much of an impact on him, like injury-wise or something like that. But the fight is, of course, canceled. This speaks to me about the overall trend we see with guys trying to kill themselves to make weight. And what I don't understand is why would he do this to fight Ricky Turcios? This is not a championship fight. This is not a top contender fight. This is not even a top 15 fight. He's just trying to make weight way below the limit he naturally can achieve because he's trying to fight Ricky Turcios in the division below where he should be. I think guys like Cameron Smotherman should give up a couple of pounds just to be a smaller, faster guy in a division above. And they should just make weight easy, especially in the beginning part of their career when they're young and they still have ability to lose a couple of fights and still make like a championship or a top contender rankings. They should give up a couple of pounds and just be faster and try to win in a division above rather than trying to kill themselves and damage their health permanently, trying to make like wait for shitty ass fights like fighting Ricky Turcios. Who even cares? But yeah, these are my thoughts on UFC 324 weigh-ins. This was 2.5 hours of stuff I watched, and the prelims weren't sort of telling me much, so I just focused on the main event fights. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe.